All right, you're on.
Perfect. And there we go. Does everybody see my screen?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll
No,
wait.
Yep.
It's an overview of our admin portal.
Got it.
Perfect. Great. Yeah, so this is the overview of our admin portal. So like the back end of where you manage all your videos, your upload thumbnails, you see your viewer statistic. Yeah, you do everything from here, like the control management portal. So first of all, I'm just going to go through this briefly, but I want to show you the live part and how easy it is to create a live event. And exactly as Charlie said, our vision is to make it as easy as possible so anyone can use this. So we just go into the live section here, the tab, and then you have all your different live events in a list over here. Either they show you if they're finished or if they're started and ready and so on. So we have one upcoming right now, which I scheduled. So it's actually have already started, as we can see. Yeah, sorry, this is Swedish time right now. It's 8:30 local time here. But to create a new live event, we just go down, click new, edit a name, like that. We can add a description. Could be like the agenda of today's live broadcast. Start date and time, end date and time. We can choose to make it private, and in that case, it won't end up in our video portal, which is also included in this service. In that case, if we want to do like a test event or maybe just a private event for some specific students, for example, or so on, we can just make it private. We can enable live encoding. I usually don't mention that, but that's actually a really good feature because then actually the encoding process is being handled in the cloud in Azure. And in the end, that actually makes the quality for me as a viewer a lot better. And then we have some different ingest protocol. If we want to use that, we don't have to focus about that. And then you can connect unlimited Azure Media Services account, depending on where you are in the world. You want to connect to the closest data centers. So I have 4 right here, as you can see: West US, East US, the North EU, and West EU, depending on where I am. So, sorry, we need to we click tomorrow, and I want it to start maybe not PM. We have an early broadcast tomorrow at 8 a.m. and it ends at, let's say, oh, sorry, we need to, yeah, there we are. Perfect. And then we have, we take 9. So it's a 1-hour broadcast. Let's see, yeah, and I need to choose a live event as well, or a West, and then we just click create, and that's it. And usually our customers have one Azure Media Services account connected, so then they don't have to choose between those 4 as I could. So that's exactly how simple it is to create this. And then, for example, as you talked about the backpack. In the backpack is included a camera, tripod, wireless microphone, a Surface, where we pre-installed our streaming and encoding application, like a video mixing program as well, which actually is connected to your admin. So as soon as you connect and start your backpack and the Surface, automatically this event will pop up there. So I just choose which live event I want to broadcast, click on that, and then just stream it, and we're on. And this takes approximately 5 to 8 minutes to do. And then, I mean, from scheduling it to actually set up this backpack and then go live. Perfect. And of course, every live broadcast that you stream will automatically be archived and created as a VOD, so anyone can watch it whenever they want. You can also, of course, upload videos in this, and that's even simpler than creating a live event. You just name your event and then create, and then you just upload a file to your event. Sorry, I missed one thing. Let me get you back to, let's see, I'm going to show you. So this is actually, now I choose one of my live events, and I want to both, I can edit the name afterwards, description. I can add some tags. I can add products if you want to make it monetize your event, for example, like a package or monthly subscription or pay-per-view, for example. You can, we can set different restrictions like IP, domain. We have a single sign-on as well, which is connected to Azure Directory Service as well, which then allows you to use your Office account to log in to watch all these events. But we have different tabs over here as well. Of course, you can embed your video wherever you want, just using this embed code. We also have like a event website, which is like a single player play site, which is, I can actually click on that so you can see how it looks like. So then you get a direct link to this VOD or this live event, this video, if you don't want it to embed it somewhere. It looks like that. Of course, we have some statistics, some viewer statistics. You can see over time how many viewers you had. You see it. I had a lot of viewers on this broadcast. And of course, you got a total number. And then you can see which region they watched in, device, OS, browser, and what kind of bitrate they watched. Okay. Before I proceed, any questions on this part, on the live section?
No, it looks good.
While you're switching out, Leon, I'll point a couple things out. So
yeah, please.
You'll notice when you looked at the VODs that everything's captured as a VOD, and some say published and some say unpublished. And what I want to point out is that gives the admin person, like, while everything is created as a VOD, there may be things you don't want everyone to see. Maybe somebody used language that wasn't acceptable in one of the live events or something like that. While it's saved and it's in your catalog, until the admin person hits published, it's not viewable to anybody else. So I just wanted to point that out sort of as a safety precaution, if you will, right? If there's content you don't want released to the public afterwards, you can control that. Or you may decide that some of it has to be password protected going forward, right?
Right.
So you can change the properties on that. While the live event may have been open to everyone, if they want to go back and see it and you want to monetize it, or you want it for students only, it can be password protected. So just a couple things that as he was walking through it, I wanted to point out. And when we talked about subscriptions and VOD, and pay-per-view, we handle all of that for you as well. So the billing piece of it and all that, we will handle all that as part of the service. This is an FYI. All right, Leon. Sorry, go ahead.
Perfect. And I can also add while I'm in the VOD section as well, you can of course download either your past live broadcast or your uploaded videos. Just download them afterwards if you want to. We're not going to stretch this, but I can also mention every VOD after it's being live let's see, I'll choose one that I actually broadcast instead. I think that's the one. Here we go. So I can see I went to editor tab within this VOD event. I can trim my event, so I can, if something, actually the broadcast has started 10 minutes, I started to stream 10 minutes earlier when I actually started 2%, for example. I can just scroll, so okay, 5 minutes, I want to cut out the first 5 minutes, and I will cut out the 2 last minutes, for example. So just trim them. We can also add bookmarks, which is like you point out specific sections within the broadcast, what actually happened. So at 5 minutes, let's see, okay, 3:45, something happened. Yeah, I started to talk about this, and then you just have like, there's like an automatically agenda, so me as a viewer can point out, okay, I want to skip this part and go to that part instead, because that's what I'm actually interested in, and so on. You can create sub-clips as well, if you want to stitch out a specific part of the broadcast and make it an own video, an own VOD. You can do that as well. You just set the intake and then like that, and then we'll drag it here, and we'll set outtake, and then just create. And then we have created a short clip between these segments. I wanted to show you about the channel as well before we proceed. So the linear channel is an extra feature within our Play site, which I will show you as well, which is a linear experience schedule where you can schedule your VODs, you can schedule your live broadcast and reruns of your live broadcast into like the traditional linear TV as we are familiar with in the old days. Let's see. Yeah, and as you can see, this is like you recognize the calendar, almost look like an Outlook calendar. So I would say it's as easy to schedule a meeting in Outlook. It's the same to schedule a live broadcast within your linear channel. So we have a lot of VODs here, and I can add the live broadcast that we just booked, schedule, and then I just click add, and then I automatically will pop up. Let's see, just working down here. Let's see if it worked. No, we passed that time. No, that was tomorrow. Sorry. Here it is. There we go. And that's blue. And then we come to the website, which I also refer as Play site. It's a video portal, and where you can add social media sharing. We have some authentication that we can add as we talked about. Azure Directory Service, viewer account. You can make it public or internal, and so on. You can brand it as well with your logo type. Choose colors, and you can add some graphics like a banner and slideshows and so on, and categorize everything into menus and lists. But I will show you one of the Play sites that we use that actually Charlie just mentioned about the hospitals, the robotic surgeries, which also is using as an educational purpose. So this is the video portal, the Play site, the website, which is included in this service as well. So this is a perfect chance for you and easy to just get started when it comes to letting your viewers, enabling all your different live broadcasts and VODs, as you can see. So as Charlie talked about, this now company, as it is, or an organization actually, it's called 4Health. And it was initiated by a Swedish hospital called Karolinska, the hospital. And this is a educational video portal for robotic surgery within urology. So it's like the top leading hospital within urology. And they starting off at a one event. They did a 24-hour live event from, I think it was 10 different hospitals around the world. So the doctor, they live streamed the surgery, and we had a camera, or they have a camera inside the body. So we follow what happened. And while the surgeon do like a voiceover, a live commentary of what he actually does and explain everything. But now, as you can see, they were up to, I think it's 17 hospitals around the world. A couple of them, we have a lot of them in US as well. Maybe you recognize them.
They'll recognize Mount Sinai.
Mount Sinai, that's in New York. That's right. Yeah, exactly. We have Keck Medical in Los Angeles. We have, let's see,
Seattle Hospital, Florida.
Florida. The Nicholson Center. Yeah, and the Swedish Medical Center is up in Seattle as well. So they use this to educate the students. So as you can see, they have the logo, they use a banner, they have some slideshows here, and they have their next event starts in 11 hours. Exactly. They have used the lists within the Play site, the video platform, to categorize all the different surgeries. I don't know exactly what this means, but maybe you do. But as you can see, there is a lot of different events.
And the key thing thanks, Leon. The key thing to point out, right? This is your own branded channel, right? So
yes.
This is part of the service we provide, right? The customer just provides, whatever logos and things they want to look. But if you start to think about, whether, like Cornell, this could be, the Cornell Medical School, which I think is tied in with New York Presbyterian, I think. Anyway,
That's correct.
Right? Yeah. So this could be, right? Their portal. This is their channel. It's fully branded for them, right? LiveArena just powers it. It doesn't exist. We don't exist as far as they know. And you could have this for different departments, right? So it sort of takes away the argument of, well, why wouldn't I just use YouTube? Well, you could. You're not going to have something fully branded like this. Number one. Number two, you're not going to have the, sort of access control and single sign-on. And more importantly, who would you like to have control all of your data? Customer data or viewer data. I'm pretty sure you'd rather have that, in Microsoft, and have that, in your power, so you can control how you'd want to follow up with it. But this does give you a good idea of sort of the look and feel you can have with a branded channel. And I don't know if they do it on 4Health, but I'm pretty sure we have one you can show Leon where you can show them the actual linear schedule as well, which really looks like a program guide.
Yeah, let me pick out one. I don't know if Oliver does use it.
Yeah.
Okay, you see.
Right.
Yeah, so this is also a high school. I translate, this is in Swedish in general, but that's why I have the Google tab up here.
Yeah.
But this is a high school in Sweden, and they use the linear channel, as I was talking about and referring as a channel. So they have scheduled now by tomorrow, Thursday, and this is a program. This is not in Swedish, or this is in Swedish, but it's about a program about the economic major, and they have languages. They have the history program and stuff like that. And then also Friday at 9:15 a.m. they have something called By the Wing. That's right. And that's the principal announcement he has each week. So instead of now sending out like a newsletter to all the students and his teachers, he now do a weekly broadcast where he's standing, as you can see. This is the thumbnail from it, where he stands by one of the piano wings and talk about what had happened the past week and what will happen the upcoming week. So for sure, a more educational and easy to learn way to spread the information. Like that.
Yeah, there's some good points here, Leon. You can see that there's sort of background on some of the teachers. You'll see the curious sign there.
Yeah,
exactly. And they've got the message from the principal. Then they've got the sports. So this really, as we talked about, right?
With the sports, exactly.
Yeah, very, different divisions within the educational institution use it for different things. And until Leon did a demo for this and showed it to me a couple of months back, I didn't know that in Sweden, high school is not, where you live like it is in the U.S., right? Oh, okay, I live here, I go to this high school. It's incredibly competitive there because you go to whatever high school you want to go to in the country. So all the high schools compete for the top students. And this is a tool that they use to not just reach out to the current students and the current parents. They use this as a actual marketing tool to reach out to prospective students. So I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And we're we're used to that in Sweden. So when we talked about that earlier, Charlie, I was quite surprised because I'm not used to the way that you have it in the U.S.
No, unless you're a top athlete here, you go to the school that's in your neighborhood, or you go to a private school. Yeah.
So, and of course they broadcast a lot of their lectures as well on top of this, but that's on an internal play site just for the students. So that's an excellent way for, especially as they're not using that. They were the one that told us they're not using that so students can skip school. It's because they're not allowed to do that. But but it's a perfect way for them, for the students, when they come home again after today's lecture, they can recap something that they either didn't understand. They have time to do that. And I also talked to one of the teachers over there that also do, if he got the feeling that he got a lot of questions from a specific part of the lecture, he do an extra broadcast after each day going through exactly that part of the lecture that the students had some problem with. So then they have an extra chance to understand what they actually, what it's about, right? That was the demo.
Can I jump in with a question?
Of course.
So I'm sort of thinking of use cases here, and in a large organization, I'm thinking like the alumni organization at a big school, or a sports
Sure.
unit, or even maybe a telemedicine org
Mhm.
or a teaching medical college. I can see certain units being large enough to want their own channel that's just for their people or for their outreach to things like alumni. But it's
Sure.
also really common for large central IT units to stand up a service and then do cost recovery so that
Mhm.
the consuming units pay by the drink. Are there are there tools that would make it easy for a central IT unit to figure out the billing? So, Department A was broadcasting,
Mhm.
20% of the month's activity, so they get billed 20% of the month's activity. Is there anything like
Sure.
that?
Yeah, so they're going to get. There's a couple of different ways to go, right? I mean, there's the sort of flat rate channel fee or operator fee that we have, but then on the usage side, right? You're going to be able to provide those analytics from Azure, right? Daytime viewers. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can provide
Oh, so the billing
within
might just
Azure.
easily be done just pulling it straight off of the Azure consumption.
Sure.
Oh,
Right. Exactly. Because
that makes it
all the
very easy.
ongoing, yeah, all the ongoing consumption is going to be in Azure,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
and the other piece of it could be, if they had separate Azure accounts, right? So if
right.
you had you have an Azure account for telemedicine, you have an Azure because this is all on AMS, right?
Yeah,
It's
well,
Azure Media Services, right?
now with our acquisition of Cloudine, I would think that
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that gets even easier, probably, right?
Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. And then if they wanted to break it down differently with, per channel, so we have different tiers, right? You get your one channel and you get everything you've seen. You can become what's called a station, which gives you three
Oh,
channels,
cool.
right? And then if you want to become, so here's what we had happen, and the reason we came up with this model is you can become an operator, which at that point you're almost like, your own mini Comcast, if you will, right?
Right.
You can have as many channels underneath as you want. So when we first started a long time ago, with like LiveArena, we started off in minor league hockey in Sweden,
Ah,
which has an enormous appetite for hockey, right up there with Canada, right? So these minor league teams, a few of them ended up getting a channel from us and started producing content, and they found out that they did have a big audience. It turned into a subscription model for them. So people are paying a subscription to see practices, to see behind the
oh,
scenes, how
cool.
the players train and all this stuff. So all of a sudden, more and more schools started to join, and next thing you knew, right, like the Norwegian and the Swedish Hockey Federation came in and said, wait a minute, we'll just oversee this whole thing and we'll charge each school, or I'm sorry, each team a fee to have a channel, right? And we're just going to be the operator. So that's a model as well, right? So if the the larger institution decides, the IT department says, we'll just be an operator and we'll go out and sell channel subscriptions to each one of the divisions of the university that wants to use it, right? We're happy to do that. And each one is, there's a separate billing they get from us. It's pretty simple. So as you can see, Leon shared our pricing. So that's our standard price. So you've got your channels, $975 a month. That is 24/7. Your channel's up, it's running, it's ready to use. Station is, again, 3 different channels, and then your operator. We do have an EDU special. So I think if you go
Yeah,
down.
sorry.
Right, that's okay.
Yeah,
No. They need to know what the difference is. So did I give you the right deck?
By the way,
Go on the right deck.
a minute ago, I think I called it Cloudine. It's actually Cloudin is I think the
Cloud.
way people pronounce the billing
okay.
solution we just acquired.
So
Sorry,
it's
I
like a
got. Wait a
35%
second.
discount for EDU, right? So the numbers you saw, you guys get 35. Your customers get 35% off of that.
Awesome.
Sorry.
No
I don't
worries.
know what. I thought I
I
said.
can actually send him. I can actually send him the deck. That's no big deal. I think Amy probably has it anyway.
Got
But I'll send it out. So we think it's a great opportunity, right? We've had a lot of success, obviously, in Europe during this. We've been around in Europe for a long time. I just came on last year, 2017. to launch the business in the U.S. And we sell through Microsoft and Microsoft partners, right? We are literally here to be your partner, and we are co-sell ready, and we're in the marketplace.
All right, wow, that looks great.
Yeah. So yeah, even if they wanted, I mean, if you think about, from a price perspective, you're talking about a 24/7 channel with all the management capabilities in VOD and a backpack for about $1,000 a month. I mean, right? You're ready to go with an IP connection.
That price, is that a monthly price? Is it that's
a yearly subscription, right? So the channel, right, with the 35% EDU discount is $7,600 a year.
Got it.
Right? If you want a channel with a backpack, you know what? And what's funny when we talk about, making it a price point where we can be profitable, but is palatable to the customer. There's plenty of platforms out there that would charge them $11,000 a month, right? Yeah. I mean, that was the way it used to be, and then of course the ongoing, Azure cost, right? Whatever that may be. And it's, the Azure cost is not going to go up for them unless they're seeing success with what they're doing, right? I mean, that's just going to be the key to it, right? If they're seeing success in what they're doing, because it's based on viewers, right? So if they're getting a lot of viewers, obviously they're doing something right. And then, another key thing to point out that we tend to gloss over, we talked about the capability of uploading content you already have, but really, this is a way for them to monetize stuff they've already shot that they may have done nothing with, right? So it's not only capture everything new you're shooting, have it available for VOD. Boy, you have a catalog of stuff, whether it's, like you said, the medical school or sports, whatever, that you've done over the year. They probably don't even have a way to, manage that video asset. We give them that, and that gives you the opportunity up front to create quite a bit of Azure usage by bringing that content into Azure.
So on that thread, so looking here at this channel, 7,600 for a year for the channel.
Yeah.
Is that inclusive of Azure costs, or is the Azure?
No. Azure cost. This is a cost for our portal. The Azure cost is in addition, right? So that's, the Azure cost is typically, if you're doing a lot of content, going to be more than us, which is better for you, right?
And I'm guessing that parameters you choose regarding quality of video and so on are going to have an impact on your Azure consumption.
Yeah, so the limitation is going to be the bandwidth you have up, right? That's your limitation of quality, right? If you're at a school and you have decent bandwidth up, you're going to create pretty good quality, right? So you can be, pretty much we say if you have at least 5 meg up, you're going to have a really good quality, playback. And then, with Azure and our player, on the viewer perspective, it's going to figure out your bandwidth and give you the best version of the content, right? Whether it's a 1 meg stream, a 2 meg stream, 750 kilobit, It's going to do that on the back end for the viewer.
Sure. All right. Awesome. This is starting to make, I'm starting to understand it, and I think it's brilliant. This is cool. Awesome. I think I'm out of questions. And so is there anything else?
Here's, just a couple things to point out. After we hang up, certain things will pop up. Please feel free to email me. I'll get back to you. I'm usually pretty good. The last 2 days, not so much, but other than that, 90% of the time, I'm really good at replying quickly. Happy to get on a call and or walk through a Skype with your customer at any time. And obviously, I travel a lot. Happy to, we have a customer that's interested and happy to make a trip out to meet with them.
Great. I love it. I
wanted to bring something up. I know something for you to think about too, Bob. One of your peers, Todd, did an event with their customers as part of an EduDays customer event. I hadn't gotten feedback. How did that go, Charlie?
I wasn't there, but Leon was there. I wasn't able to travel last week, but Leon was there, and Leon said it went great. I mean, we had I don't want to talk for Leon. Go ahead and jump in. But
yeah, it went. Yeah. I mean, it went great. I mean, it was very like a personal view of it because we got 2 days together with about 40 customers or something like that. did some workshops together with them, ate lunch together. So we, as a partner point of view, really appreciated that. Because they did a lot of Microsoft workshops together with us, right? So when they talked about Azure, they have something to actually present within Azure, LiveArena broadcast. So that was excellent.